Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Momentous Inspiration. We are a rally-based Guild Ball videocast, and today we're bringing you Game 3 of the Southeastern Team Championship, featuring Frank Humitis, who is taking the Fishermen, and Jared Turner with
Oh
the
yeah,
Blacksmiths.
good old Frank.
I'm Brian Will, and with me I've got Lon and a special guest.
Hi, I'm Chris Schlegel.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris,
We decided we'd bring in the backup on this one so we'd get some real commentary going.
get a real fish player in here.
Hey, you went pretty good on fish too, so.
No. Actually, me and you are both me and you both favor shark.
Yeah.
So we should probably find someone else. Let's end this. End it. Just cut it out. Find someone else.
Oh, it's not getting cut out. We'll make asses out of all of ourselves. But on that note, I think we could just go ahead and get going to the game. So if y'all want to start, on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, go.
That was not on the count of 3. That was a countdown.
Oh, deal with it.
All right.
So on the, go ahead, Lon.
So I was just gonna say we're gonna mainly have Chris reading off Jared's actions and Brian reading off Jared's actions, and I'll kind of go in between turns here.
Correction, I'm reading off Frank's sections.
That's what I. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep. So we didn't get the draft this time. The camera did not get started quite in time. But the draft for Jared's team was Ferrite as the captain, with Hearth and Furnace as the other two masters, Alloy, Original Cinder, and Iron, since Vet Cinder was not legal for this tournament.
And on Frank's side, we have Corsair, Tentacles, Vet Siren, Hag, and Jack.
Should be
Oh,
more.
and Gutter. My apologies. That's bad on the notes.
Gutter. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks like Jared's going to be kicking off. That's an interesting. Interesting. It looks like he's going to be. Okay, so he's just now deploying. All right.
Yeah, no, he's this was kind of started at an odd time, so we don't have quite the draft time and then all the setup prior to that. But he will have Cinder kicking off. Cinder kicking off.
Now, as I recall, if we look at the Longshanks listing for this tournament, Jared was like the sacrificial lamb for Team Nashville. Like he had a ridiculous strength of schedule. Go back and look at it.
So I haven't ever played Fish before. I played against Blacksmiths and Fish both a few times, but who would y'all say, y'all two being Fish players, who would y'all say is favored going into this one? Like, what's your instincts?
Personally, I lean towards Fish, at least at this point in the game, before Vet Cinder came out. Corsair, I always felt was a pretty good match into Blacksmiths because of his ability to pull them out of position, and they kind of want to be in a brick if they're going to fight.
Right.
And they also brings a lot of close controls ability to keep away the ball from the Blacksmiths as well.
Yeah, the drag ability of Corsair, you just nab any apprentice, and they're pretty much just wrecked. Yeah, Jared Turner's strength to schedule was 813. That's
wow,
pretty massive.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very nice.
I want to see exactly who he played throughout the day.
But we got also, while we're at it, while he's still kicking off, top to bottom for Jared's side, I believe, is Hearth, Alloy, I think Ferrite in the middle, Iron, then Furnace, and then Cinder, who just came out for the kickoff from the very bottom. And since I didn't actually write it down, covering for Chris here, that's Siren at the top, then Tentacles. I think it's Gutter in the middle. Then we have Corsair.
Looks like it might be Hag in between Tentacles and Corsair.
You're right. Yep, you're right.
And Gutter below Corsair, and then Jack below her.
Apparently my eyes are going on me already.
No, I'm just very familiar with these models.
So it looks like Jared played Glenwood Morris, who went 4-0. Frank, who decline to say that score. And then Mike Rhodes from South Carolina, who I think also went 4-0. So not sure who the other player was, but yeah, they kind of fed him to the. I don't know if that was a part of Nashville's strategy or not, but
So here we have the allocation. Frank's put 1 on Siren, 2 on Tentacles, 6 on Corsair, and looks like 4 on Gutter.
Yep, I think that sounds about right. I can't imagine why he's leaving 6 on Corsair. I mean, that's just very confusing, really. I don't imagine Corsair will be doing his best to pull people over and start beating on them or anything, really.
That's a pretty standard can to open on turn 1.
I'm curious about this Cinder kickoff.
Lon hasn't really played them against me recently, so I haven't actually. I don't know if I've ever played against his Corsair actually, or if it has been. If I have, it's been a very long time. But for the Smiths, we've got Hearth with 2, Furnace with 1, Alloy with 4, Cinder with 3, and Ferrite with 2.
So, looks like we're starting off with a Shadowlike on Siren, and she just moves for days, for cheaply too.
Jog 7.
Yep. Jog 7 plus that Shadowlike move just makes it a 9-inch. So he goes, picks up the ball. He's taking a pass to Tentacles.
Which, despite the pair of 1s, he managed to get the 6 in there.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Keeps the momentum, passes the clock.
So I wonder what the goal is here with Cinder. This will be interesting.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump the gun a little bit here, but and y'all may have the audio on to hear this, but Jared actually forgot that Tentacles had close control, so he was looking. Part of his reason for kicking off with Cinder was to be able to get that 6-inch
hot shot tackle.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm not sure had he remembered that if he might have had somebody else kick and done it a little differently, but at this point, it's kind of left Cinder in a bad spot.
Wonder what the threat on that. She's a 6-8 move, right?
So instead, he just activates Hearth. He puts use this on Alloy and jogs 4 inches, and then he's going to put Instruction on Cinder.
All right. So Hag's activating. Dodges up Corsair using her Fisher's Reel for free. Looks like he's measuring out to bring up Tentacles with her.
Yep. Tag along.
Yep. Tag along.
So as best as I recall, Corsair already had a pretty strong matchup, but once Corsair got access to Hag, it seems to have been even stronger just because of that repositioning and being able to pull him forward.
Yeah, definitely. Hag plays a big part into Corsair's ability to really reach out there turn 1 and grab whatever he wants to kill, so to say.
I remember talking with Lon early on, right after Hag was released, and he was even talking. I think you were even talking to Lon about using the legendary.
I still do that. I
just
regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And dragging that entire team forward.
If I really need it turn 1, it's big. It really depends on where your opponent places.
The nice thing is when you do it with good old Fang Tooth and get people out of the stink on turn 1.
So we have Furnace going forward. He sprinted forward and put down a 1 at a time, lads, and he legendaried. I think he knows exactly what's about to hit him.
Yeah, he did a good job blocking the drag for Cinder, at least, in this scenario.
Unfortunately, once you get about 4 or 5 crowds, I'm not sure how much it's going to do, but...
Yeah.
think that's tentacles activating, I believe.
Yep, hitting a pass.
Yep. He passed a Corsair, kept the momentum, and he's blinding Cinder.
Why does a mascot have blind?
Bonus
Oh my
it.
lord.
And gets it despite the 1.
That still makes me sad, the fact that a mascot has blind.
Dude, remember
Yeah, I've always
season 2 Marvels had Tool Up back in the good old days.
Oh my. I had forgotten that.
That was super high value.
Oh my lord. I just came in at the very end of season 2 and started playing Alchemist, so I never got to see that. Oh, that doesn't even seem fair in any way.
There was some dirty stuff back in the day.
I mean, to be fair, I played Midas in my very first game, my true replication, scything blow off of Gutter, so...
Oh, yeah. The things we complain about now in Balance are pale in comparison.
Yeah, probably hitting a Momentous 3 damage on 1 was not fair. But we've got an alloy activation coming up for Jared now. Just using the acrobatics and sprinting forward.
Hag got kind of up there.
Yeah, he really pulled her forward to get tentacles up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not typically how I do it, but Frank's a great player.
Well, I guess the blind.
He knows what he's doing.
He did hit the blind, so.
Yeah.
And Cinder took a lot of influence, right?
Cinder had, I think, 3 influence. That sounds about right.
And goes for the dirty knives. Hits.
Get the damage and the poison on Hag, which... I guess Cinder, I can't tell there. Cinder might have a route over to Hag. That's the one. Furnace is just a little far forward that there may not be a good route, but I can't really tell from where the camera's placement is.
Looks hard. Thankfully, you guys got those nice pitches there. Give you good horizontal lines from this angle.
Yeah.
She just kind of looks like she has to turn a bit. Might have
Yeah.
to run, but she can hot shot as well. So
That's true. That's a very good point.
Each one of those green bars.
he just jogged up Jack.
Each one of those green bars
Pretty
is about
standard
2 inches
battery.
as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did some calculating off of one of our previous games, and managed to figure that out. That because we were having a debate about whether Harry could have pushed Mist off the pitch. But this one was a ferrite sprint, acrobatics, and just yanking iron forward like you do.
Positioning very aggressively. Seems like.
Well,
trying to be a little safe over there on the side.
It's kind of weird because on the one hand, I feel like you got to be careful about be careful about kind of the situations you end up in, but at the same time, the Corsair player is going to drag players in. You kind of have to get into their face to some extent.
Right. Gotta give him more than he can chew through.
Yeah.
At least that's my idea when I go at him.
Yeah, that's the only theory I've ever been able to come up with.
Just kind of bum rush the whole team.
Except for the times I played Smoke, I never actually got to play that matchup, but my entire theory was stay as far away as possible. So, but that's just what Smoke does for the moment anyway.
Ye old Kirkov special.
I've played her about 3 times, and I don't hate fun quite as much as Vince does. So.
So looks like he's going for the drag
all day.
Yep.
Pulls him in.
Double crowded already. Maybe even 3. What's who's the?
See, that's the hard thing about the 1 at a time is just positioning it so that your opponent doesn't get the bonuses. Because right now he's just not getting his own penalties if he was to counterattack. But
yeah.
Well, I was trying to remember, but that's what a 4-inch. It's a 6-inch placement. Excuse me. So
it's a really hard ability to position correctly. It's
Yeah.
easy to work around, let me put it that way, especially with 2-inch melee models.
Knocks him
Yeah.
down.
I mean, and Corsair has all the crowds he needs now. But not the dice.
Hmm. So no hits on that last one. They remembered the legendary was in play. He thought he had one hit for a second there.
Furnace is 3 armor?
This one's when he's got his legendary up, he goes up by 1, up from a 3-2 to a 3-3.
Oh, okay. Right.
He hit the Momentous 3 in a push, and looks like he's getting the Momentous 3 in a push again. It's Corsair tends to get that a lot once he gets those crowd outs in there with all that 2-inch melee and knockdown.
Yeah, I think he's got 3 crowds now, so he's basically what Furnace is a 3-2, so at this point he's basically
9.
Yep. And he's still got his ace in the hole for damage coming up.
Yeah.
He's thinking about unsnapping the ball here.
I think you just could be wrong on this one, but I think you just want to keep it on Corsair. He's a good, solid platform to hold it on, I do believe.
He's worried about Cinder popping the ball.
Particularly with Cinder right now. I don't think he's in any danger of her stealing the ball exceptionally well from him due to close control.
Yeah. I was going to say, because even if Cinder can, as she's blinded, and minimum she's going to have, if somehow she could get all the way around to the bottom with Jack, she would still have 1 crowd, and she wouldn't, she wouldn't be crowded because she'd be in 1 at a time lad, excuse me, but.
Yeah, but still, it's one of those things. It's a lot of she can't hot shot twice from a distance, so yeah.
Yeah. I think we got Cinder sprinting into Hag and buying an attack on Hag. She does have instruction, so she's got, that's what, 2 guaranteed hits, I believe.
A little bit of a weird position there. I think he went a little bit too far forward and got crowded by tentacles.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. It looks like, judging from the view, looks like he could have stayed just a little further back, but I don't know, maybe tentacles would have been in either way. It's
hard to tell always from these angles.
Yeah. Unfortunately, also the light kind of coming in from the bottom left wasn't doing any favors either. It kind of blinded things out a little bit. So
I'm surprised he didn't go for a charge instead of sprinting and buying the attack.
I guess my guess is that he was either trying to prevent the defensive stance or just trying to, it wouldn't have given him any more. It wouldn't have taken away any number of attacks. So yeah, I don't know. But he did get 2 momentum and he stood Furnace back up. So Furnace is now up to a extremely strong 3-3. With
3-3, but so many crowd outs.
and with anatomical precision too. So basically
3-2.
Yeah.
3-2 at +4 dice. Gutter's really looking at it.
On the charge if Gutter doesn't wrap, I'll be very surprised.
He's also positioning within 6 of Cinder in order to
chain grab.
Presumably get the chain grab and pull her in and start spinning. And there's the bucket of dice.
Yep.
Whew.
And wraps to the 2.
God, Gutter's
drags
still
her
so...
in. And the damage to Furnace.
Solid, 2 momentum just to Solid 2 momentum on the charge, plus the 2 damage. Yeah. This is gonna go downhill quickly.
And then, yeah, he's got plenty of attacks to spin around.
Well, and I'm assuming that Frank is gonna go first next turn, judging from the influence piles already. So
Right.
I think we can see. I think you can guess who's gonna be activating first on the next one.
Yep. And this one did not get a scything blow, but 2 damage. And these are going on to Furnace as well. And knocks Furnace back down. Set up for next turn.
And clears poison, it looks. Yeah, sorry, jumped the gun there.
No, you're good. Cleared that poison on Hag, so.
And the last remaining for the Blacksmiths. I mean, Iron at least has the benefit of Tough Hide, so he'll at least make it a little harder on Frank. But I think we're gonna. I feel a little bad for Furnace and for Cinder right about now.
They're in for a world of hurt.
So that positioning over there to the top is really interesting to me. I mean, that's not really where the ball is. They're not really in an effective. Like, I'm wondering even if Iron could have maybe gotten into the mix a little bit there, or at least plan for next turn.
I think it was maybe it was part of an attempt to stay away from Corsair. They kind of like formed a V opening around him, so to say. And yeah.
The problem is now it looks like it's allowing him to make a little wall out of people that are in between everybody else in Corsair, which is sort of minimizing their overall effectiveness.
It just strikes to me like Frank's got the pretty strong board position right now. I'm not going to be surprised to see Furnace drop and then Cinder drop pretty quick after that, and then you've got your 2 takeouts. You go slam in a goal. There's no one down there to even threaten.
It's going to be real hard on him here because with the positioning he's got, Frank kind of has his choice of the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Jared, I don't know what his card was. It was one of the +1 to influence ones. That's the only thing that I know, but he didn't state it, unfortunately, and that glare makes it impossible to read.
Yeah.
Frank did, however, play go for the knees, so Gutter has one more tack also. So yeah, that'll turn out well.
Oh.
Blacksmith player Ferrite has 5. Alloy has 2. 2 on Hearth, 3 on Iron, and 1 on Cinder.
He swings on Furnace. So chain grabs Iron.
Wow. So now all 3 of them are within melee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spin to win.
And he hit the scything blow on that one too, so.
Oh, yeah. So he also spins on him.
Yep.
That's a dirty result. That was 9 successes?
Jeez. Yes, that was 9 successes. I mean, he was swinging on a 2-1, so it's not.
Yeah, it's a 2-1, and he's got +4 dice, and then a 5th die from the
go for the knees
card. So yeah.
I mean, that was 100% the ideal card for Frank to have right there.
Got another scything blow, looks like, and a 1 damage on him. Scything blow and 2 on Furnace.
So Furnace has taken somewhere in the realm of 13 health-ish.
I haven't been adding these up, but
I think he's about to drop them.
Hold on. So right there, actually, he said not to do the 2 damage and just did a push instead because he wanted to milk Furnace one more time.
Okay, yeah. Because otherwise he would have taken about 15.
Yep.
Another scything blow?
Yep.
How is Cinder not dead? How much health does Cinder have? Cinder starts with
I think she's about 12.
13.
13.
I think it's a 13 off, but that's off the top of my head.
She's taking at least 4 scything blows right there.
She took.
She not take 4 scything blows?
Scything blow.
Maybe she's on 1.
She is 13, and if she took 4 scything blows, then she's living on 1. That is not a way to be living either.
Yeah, he just said it. Jared just said, yeah, she's got 1 left.
Yep, and we got a score of 2-0. We've said this in the other videos, but we'll mention it again, that the score up at the top is not reflective of what the actual score is. That was Alon's overlay that he was trying to update as he could during the tournament.
So we got a Ferrite Legendary coming here.
I'm just not even sure what the path is for the Blacksmith player right now, though.
Yeah, I'd be feeling it right there.
Go for the ball.
Yeah, there's just not very many good ways to get around to it. Corsairs are just.
Alloy might can get there.
I think Alloy's
real fast. He gave a 2-inch melee.
He's got his bunker, yeah.
The biggest problem I feel like is just gonna be that no matter what, whoever's trying to swing into Corsair is gonna be crowded and facing a counterattack, which is Corsair's got some fairly strong counters.
His counterattacks actually aren't incredible. I mean, when you've got a bunch of crowd outs, they're really good, but
well, that's kind of what exactly.
Good counterattacks for keeping the ball, though, and that's what really matters here.
Yeah.
They're not great for disengaging, but they're great for keeping the ball. At least making them spend another influence on top of the multiple influence they had to even attempt it.
I was gonna say, because it forces. I mean, they automatically have to burn 2 for the close control if you wait till after they've tried to tackle the ball. Yeah, you're right. And then he has the choice of he can either tackle it or just knock them down and just make them even more miserable.
Yeah, knock it down, scatter the ball off. Maybe grab the ball again or have one of his friends grab it because he's always got plenty of those around.
Yep.
So
I think we had Ferrite. Let's see. She hit 0 the first swing on Tentacles. Then she got 2 hits, double dodge. That was countered. And Tentacles managed to get a 1-inch push that shoved Ferrite out.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, she's just parked on 1 influence with nothing to do with it.
Parked on 1 influence, and then Cinder's not looking too good over there.
No, Alloy's. I know Alloy he's got the ability to get down there. I'm just wondering if it'll be enough or not. That's my only question.
Right. It would have, it possibly would have been if he could pop the close control beforehand.
Yep.
But I don't think he has enough time anymore with Cinder.
Oh man, if Hag was the legendary right here, you reposition the entire field.
I don't even think he needs it though. He just moved Jack forward and just pulled Tentacles up. So.
Well, I think he might have. Yeah, I think he went with Hag because Hag's moved. Yeah, Hag Shadow liked. She pulled up Jack with the Fisher's Reel and then had Tentacles follow her along because there was all 3 of those models just moved.
And yep, looks like Alloy. This is where, like you were saying, that one, if you could have gotten the close control broken, it would present a very different situation. But I don't really know if Jared could have based on the angles, but I was a little surprised with that when he took the double dodge that he didn't try to stay base to base with Tentacles just to make sure.
Right.
So we got an alloy charge on Corsair. He's crowded out one time, and Corsair did use defensive stance and counter. I think he hit the Momentous Dirty Knives, which does no damage whatsoever, but does drop his defense.
Drops his defense and still poisons him as well.
Yes. And there was a bonus time counter that was declared.
Defensive stance and counterattacked. Rough roll there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just a little 1 damage.
Yep, 1 damage. Alright, no back to the shadows because no damage.
Could he have taken 2 damage? Alloys 2 is on 2, right?
He could have taken... Maybe he could have taken it. I don't remember exactly what he rolled. But he also could have targeted another player with the Dirty Knives as well, if that's what he wanted.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, actually, Allie doesn't even have a 2. His 3 is on 4.
So... Jack, non-momentous 3s, send her off the board.
There's your buddy Jack, throwing non-momentous damage.
Good job, Jack. Hey, he got momentum off of his damage.
Just got to get the kill.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to always be momentous as long as it's good damage, you know?
That's one of the things I'll be interested, because Gutter has provided, especially like in this lineup, has provided a lot of the momentous damage and a lot of the damage layout for Corsair. Now that once Navigators come out, I'm kind of curious what it's going to look like for.
Yeah. Well, it would be it'd be a lot less momentum, that's for sure.
Yep. Although it does seem possible they throw some more momentous damage onto Jack or Kraken or somebody to try to adjust it a little bit.
Wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's possible.
Every single fish nerf we've ever had, they've decided the fact that they don't want to give them momentous damage because that's quote-unquote not their design space.
One of me and my oldest memes I've made was me and Lon with the Civil War momentous damage, non-momentous damage.
So Iron's going to ram a few people around here, just try to reposition and adjust things a little bit. But unfortunately, with all that 2-inch melee, he's not really going to be able to uncrowd himself all that well. My cat has been yelling at me the entire time I've been in this room. I think he thinks that I've forgotten him and betrayed him.
Go feed your cat.
I've already fed him. He's just being obnoxious now.
High quality cat content.
Well, hey, Iron's slowly moving around the pitch, so gotta fill the time.
We got Mike the dog. We're gonna be Brian the cat. At least you can't hear the cat.
We got a buy on Jack coming from Iron, which I think he is down 2 dice right now, I believe. 2, yeah. Or is it 3? I can't tell if Tentacles has him or not. It's close.
I really like how Jared rolls his dice. He's like super enthusiastic about it into his hand.
See, the further the dice travel on the table, the better they roll.
That is a proven scientific fact, right? So he did get the double push on Jack to get him out of the way a little bit. And besides Lon, at least we don't have those the dice from the 12-sided, 6-sided dice.
Those are so hilarious.
Oh man.
And no hits on Gutter from Iron.
First time I had an opponent pull those out on me, took me a solid second to realize that they weren't just rolling d12s.
Yeah, actually, in the comment, I can't remember if it was in the comment on Facebook or in the comments for the YouTube video, but he actually got a little defensive and said we needed to stop bragging on his dice.
I
they
like
were
them.
neat. Yeah, they
They roll
definitely.
well.
It's definitely a little bit of a unique thing to have. Makes you stand out.
So tentacles just goes for blind on hearth.
I just want
I can't understand why he didn't bother bonus timing that. I mean, hitting that 2 defense,
I just
man.
want to point out that I've removed the score component of my overlay. I guess I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to keep it up.
Keep up with it.
Well, the entire intent was originally to be there for the stream anyway, because originally you were gonna try to, but that sort of.
Yeah, it was a great venue, but man, their internet was not ready for Twitch.
Yeah, I remember trying to watch that while I was hosting my my event out in Cincinnati.
It's like 1 frame per every 5 seconds.
Something like that.
Hearth had 0 hits on tentacles after getting into him with the blind. She just didn't have any dice.
Yeah. That's the rough kind of control that Corsair brings.
Yeah, that's.
Looks like
I don't think it.
re-rolling it.
I think it was still 0 hits though. It looks like.
Yeah.
I didn't catch what the reroll
I
reason
think
was
you
for,
rolled too
but-
many dice.
I think it was, yeah, rolled too many for blind or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Which is a pretty nice thing to do. Let him re-roll after missing.
That's kind of my rule of thumb as a TO is just
Wow.
re-roll the whole pile, regardless of what the results are.
Well, one of the things that I can say from every single one of these games that was recorded from the SETC, there were every single one of the games. All the players
Oh,
were
yeah.
very friendly. When you're listening to the chat, nobody was ever arguing about stuff unnecessarily. It was one of the friendliest things that I've ever gotten to watch.
I do know in the last game there's like a good 3 or 4 minute rules issue that I had to look up, and it took a really long time. And I actually learned something new from that one.
Yep.
We might have to speed past that part of the video.
I might speed it up a little bit, but I think it would be worth actually mentioning because the entire rules interaction is a bit wonky and would only come up in a very sparse
It was
number
kicking a
of
ball
situations.
off of an obstruction.
So Siren went ahead and did a push dodge on Alloy, and now it's time for Corsair to do his thing. Corsair hits Alloy for 3 and a push. Bonus times this at already at 9 dice.
Yep. Not the best roll, but
Still a non-momentous 3.
yep.
Takes the knockdown. I've been really screwed by trying to just taking the 3 when I rolled it the first time, and then ending up not getting a knockdown later.
I was gonna say that's coming from having played farmers. I usually try to go for that knockdown like with Thresher or whoever else first time just to start swinging the dice that little bit better.
Yeah.
Because get so reliant on those results.
Yep. So that one wrapped around, did the 3 and then the 2, non-momentous 2, and kills Alloy. Goes in, looks like he jogs into iron.
In the business.
Yep.
Buys on him.
And this is about as methodical as you can get at this point.
Yep. This is time to go through the motions.
I think he hit everything there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Surprised he didn't knock him down there.
So Momentous 3 and 2 down to 2 and 1. I mean, how many dice is he rolling at this point? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
Yep.
Yeah,
9.
no. Even if he knocked him down, he would be rolling 10 dice, which wouldn't actually get him any more damage onto
Next
iron.
turn, though.
At maximum, it would just maximum. It would increase the chances of hitting the 2 on knockdown on the wraparound.
Yeah.
And get a momentum, which I'm sure he is in dire need of.
Yeah. that stack says that he's that stack of what 4 momentum to 0 says that he's. I think that tells the full story at this point.
That's how Corsair B wraps around.
Yep.
Continues to wrap. So score 6-0. Momentum was 4-0, and cards weren't mentioned by the players. But
no.
Yeah.
The cards, I don't think I'm going to be spoiling much to say the cards literally do not matter a single bit here at this point.
Right.
So
I loading up Corsair again, always a safe move. Not always, but often a safe move.
I don't think that it's going to be considered an unsafe move in this situation. I mean, I think
not here.
the path to victory is about as obviously clear as it could possibly be.
Corsair's actually in.
Grab a kill, grab a goal.
He's in goal threat range right now, pretty easily. With legendary.
Especially with his legendary still on the board.
He's at 12 inches right now.
So he's what with a bonus time legendary? It's a 5 dice shot, I believe.
He's a 3/8 or 3/6, so he'd go to a 4/8.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
and then bonus time it up to a 5/8. Yeah.
So he has to move 4 inches to get the shot.
Well, I mean, let's see. Iron's already taken a couple. I think he picked up a couple of sliding blows there earlier. He did heal Iron. I missed that, but Iron after his activation did heal up for 4, so he dragged it out a little longer.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Good call on his part.
Yeah. He was never going to win the momentum race, so he might as well just soak what he can.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is just for anybody who has never seen Corsair played, this is pretty much what Corsair do.
Yeah, this is really textbook play on Frank's part, and that's what I expect from him. I've played him before at the Spring Fling, and he's an excellent opponent. He actually, I believe he won the Spring Fling, not this year, but the year before that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, it was my first time knowing about Frank. So
I'll be going to Poland soon with you.
Yeah, that's gonna be an adventure.
What weekend is that exactly?
2 weekends from recording date, but Wednesday the 12th is when I fly out. It happens on the 15th and 16th.
Okay, I knew it was coming up. I couldn't remember if it was 1 week or 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
I mean, I probably won't be watching too many of the games live, even if they're streamed, simply because of the time of day. But
yeah, I remember last year getting up at like 3 a.m. watching games and then falling asleep to them.
That's what I was doing for the World Cup this summer. So. So I think we had, I'm not sure exactly where we are in the swings at this point, but we had a Momentous 3 plus
3
Momentous knockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Ferrite plus 2 damage on iron. Yep. And this one knocks down Ferrite to get the momentum, I guess.
Oh yeah, he already killed iron in there. Excuse me, I missed that.
Yep. Sorry. Sprints up and bonus time shot on goal. 5 dice here because he's legendaried.
Yep. And
there it is.
Game.
Yep.
Quick win today.
Yeah, it's I mean, This is, from everything that I've heard and everything I've seen, this is basically about as clinical as the Corsair Death Ball is going to get. It's exactly what he wants his game plan to be. Just control the pace and just march down the field.
Yeah, he got a really good pacing on. He got in one good kill early. Got in, used that kill in the pocket there to drag in other kills, and it just snowballs from there.
That initial
Well, unfortunately,
attack, those initial attacks on Furnace, allowing the drags. Furnace probably was not the best person to be in there with Gutter coming.
Yeah, he was trying. I think he was trying to save Cinder as best as he could, but unfortunately, Blacksmiths being so dependent on positioning, on the layering and other things, it's a really hard spot to be in because Corsair just chooses the way he wants to engage the entire thing.
Right.
Blacksmiths to me feel like one of the teams that are so susceptible to disruption. If you can stop that game plan of theirs, then
right. That's, I mean, due to the how they telephone it in sort of or whatever.
Right, setup. It's too much setup.
Yeah, communicates really what's going to happen ahead of time.
And doesn't feel like there's really much other way they can play at this point. I mean, it's just the way their master apprentice system works. I don't really think you can get much more.
Well,
subtle.
apparently there's some crazy new jank going on out there with Sledge and Anvil and that Cinder.
From what I've heard, it's still not subtle. It's basically just we're going to overwhelm you with a hammer to the face.
All the subtlety of a hammer to the face.
That was a good one, and good job, Jared. Holding, that's all right. I think his, if I'm not mistaken, Nashville beat the other two games in this round, which was a little bit of an upset. So Jared might have taken one on the chin personally, but his team was victorious that round.
Well, like you said, I mean, he was the one that
fed to the wolves.
I think you had earlier. Yeah, so they were feeding it to him and saying, "Hey, you're gonna get the worst matchup here." But if it gave the other two, you don't need to win all three. You just need to win two.
I wonder what the other matchups on that one were.
I'm seeing what I can find really quick. So Nashville.
Jared lost to Mark Goodman, who played Union.
Yep. His other teammates won their games against Jared and Mike.
Lost to Josh Nichols' hammer. Yeah.
So hey, throwing Jared to the wolves seemed to work as a tactic. I mean, they got the other two wins.
Battle, win the war.
Well, to be fair, all three of those players are probably all three of the people on that team are pretty crazy opponents to be playing.
Oh, absolutely. It was a very strong team. I mean, once you get into those last couple of rounds of the SETC, there's no chumps anymore. That's for sure. You're getting some very top quality players.
Well, any final thoughts on that one, guys?
If you want to learn how to play Corsair, watch this video.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah. That's it. That's about as clinical as it could be. I mean, unfortunately, there wasn't much that Jared could do once the feeding began. It just kind of spiraled.
Well, Chris, we really appreciate you jumping on a Friday night and giving us an hour of your time.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and we'll be trying to have you back in the future. I think our last game is going to be at least guild-wise, it's going to be a repeat of round 2. We've got Engineers versus Union for the final match of the SETC that we got recorded.
Gotcha.
So, not sure when we're going to get that recorded, but if you're up for it, we'll probably try to have you back on. That one's a pretty intricate game. We got the rules questions that Lon mentioned, as well as it's definitely a very back and forth. It's a bit more. The game's a bit weirder. I'll put it that way. It doesn't feel quite so clinical.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds fun. I guess shameless plug. If you want to hear more of me and more of Lon in the last episode, you can listen to me on Anatomical Precision Podcast.
Oh yeah. download it on Podbean, I believe it is.
Man, Lon, you want to plug yourself too?
Yep, this video will be going up probably pretty soon here. Well, I guess if you're watching it, then it's already up, but it's on momentustackle.wordpress.com. You can check us out there.
Yep. And thank you very much for watching. And we're going to try to have all of our videos up before season 4 because it seems like that would be the thing to do. But
and then we get to not have navigators, and we get to be really sad.
Well, and I'm sure that we'll try to, between the blog, between the videos, we'll try to get some season 4 content up as soon as we can, even if it's just some reaction
That'd be
videos
fun.
initially. But I know Juan's already head over heels about the navigator, so maybe we'll have to get a video of him beating somebody around the pitch.
I feel
so
you
sad.
there, bro.
Hey, I'm just hoping my alchemists will have an interesting pickup for season 3, so I can go back to my first love. I mean, for season 4. So.
Yeah.
But on that note, thank you all for watching, and we've been Momentous
Ta-ta.
Inspiration.